Hello. Between my last video and this video, we have had quite a few things happen in terms of like the hut and everything, not just in general. So the hut now has a floor, it's not beams, and we also, which I'll show you in a minute, have a roof, like a ceiling. The hut arrived on a Thursday, and then that weekend I did the little update video on the Sunday, and then from then on, Nelly, bear with. I had to run and put the dogs inside. From then on, things have kind of been running smoothly. Touched wood everywhere. I ordered insulation on the Saturday and that was delivered on the Wednesday. I did record some little clips throughout the week of these things I'm talking about, so if I have those I'll overlay them as I'm talking. But I had sheep arrive. This is sheep's wool insulation. It's 75% sheep's wool and then 25% recycled polyester. The only reason I went for that one is because pure sheep's wool is more expensive. There are a couple of reasons I went for sheep's wool insulation, mainly the fact that it's easier to put in. There's no like needing to hazmat breathing situation because of fiberglass or anything like that. I know that this is going to be hot in the summertime, I'm very aware of that, but in the space of a year I feel like it's going to be more cold than it is hot, so I kind of prioritised the warmth side of it rather than keeping it cool. So that all arrived on the Wednesday. My uncle came round at the start of the week as well, and he like measured things up in here and told me how many sheets of different things I might need. He also suggested putting chipboard down first before I put floorboards down, which was a smart idea on his part. Because I'm planning to have planks of wood, it means if the wood shrinks at all and gaps appear, it's not just going to go straight down to insulation, there'll be chipboard underneath, so it's still going to have like a sealed floor underneath the wood. So he measured that up and told me how many sheets of chipboard I'd need, and then he also told me about the cladding, because I was going to try and find some plank cladding, and cladding's like the inside, like the stuff that's going to go over here, basically like planks of wood. And so I was looking to see whether there was recycled stuff, whether I could get pallets, what I like, all my different options pretty much, and I had a few ideas, but I didn't think of MDF, which is what he suggested. And MDF boards are, I could actually show you what the MDF boards are if I move this. This is a piece of one, but this is the MDF boards that I got. They come in wider sheets, so it looks like they're planks, but they're actually not. It's one whole board and it's MDF. It's got like a little divot out of it, and that's what makes it look like it's planks. I've had slightly different budgets for the different parts of the hut. I went off the research that I've done on the different supplies and things that I'm going to need, and also I went off of how much the people who made the hut Blackdown, how much they charged as well. So I kind of took their prices, which their prices and their products are more high-end. They do solid oak floors and a lot of very, like, they look amazing but they weren't in my budget, and also we live on a farm and I have a dog and it's gonna be something I don't want to feel too precious about the inside, so I budgeted around that sort of thing. So we had all the boards quoted up and the chipboard floor, and we got those ordered and they arrived, well, my dad went and picked them up from the place on Tuesday, I think. I can't actually remember now. I think it was Tuesday or Wednesday they were collected. But yeah, the insulation arrived on the Wednesday. Me and my dad got that all put in and stuff, and then my cousin came up and he cut the chipboard and showed me how to screw it all in, and I screwed it all down, and then we put glue in the cracks of, because they're like tongue and groove, which means they slot into one another. This end here is the tongue end, which is not focusing. Look at the tongue there. That's the tongue end, and then the other side will have like a bit slots like over or into it. So that's kind of the same as the chipboard floors. They also have that, so you just have to slot them in, and then you put glue on there so that it doesn't squeak. Definitely learnt a lot even from that. Then we had a floor. There was a floor in here. We have a floor in here. There's a floor in here now, so I can now walk on here without hopping over the beams. What else happened? What else do we do? Planks of wood. I found someone on Facebook that did scaffold boards, and I messaged them and said, do you deliver? And they gave me a quote for how many boards I'd need, and then before I'd even paid, she was like, Barry's on his way. So Barry turned up with 20 planks of scaffolding boards. They're solid pine boards, but my cousin's going to show me how he puts them through his planer so we can get them all the same width and height, and then we can put them down. And then I don't think I'm going to stain them. I was going to stain them, but I think with pine he suggested that it's probably better not to because they might go too yellow. So I may just put some sort of clear varnish, lacquer, sealant, I don't know what it is, thing over the top so it shows the grain a bit and just keeps it nice and not raw and hopefully a bit more splinter free. But yeah, that's to be happening at some point. On Saturday I had a bit of a break. I say a break, I went to my friend's hen do in Brighton, and that was a whole day thing, so I was a bit knackered. Sun's disappeared. But on Sunday me and my dad got the insulation sorted in the roof. He staple gunned some fishing wire, like zigzagged across it, and then I just slotted the insulation into it and cut the little chunks because the floor was long strips, so I only had to cut like, I don't know, 7, 6, however many chunks there were. But as you can see, the sides and the ceiling was like this as well. It's in little squares, so I had to cut little squares. So I cut quite a few of them, but we got all of that up. We had lunch and then I messaged my cousin and he came and helped with the ceiling, which you can see a little bit there. The ceiling was the hardest bit so far because at MDF they do curve, but they are very sturdy still, so they don't curve easy. This is a little piece, so it's a lot harder to bend, but like this stuff is solid. It was definitely hard to get it to curve. I do not have the arm muscles to be doing that sort of thing, so I'm very glad that they were there to help. But what we decided to do, because there's like a very slight gap in the middle, we're going to put a strip of some sort of wooden finishing piece. I can't remember what it's called. They said it yesterday, I can't remember. Basically a pretty piece of wood in the middle to look like a beam, but it's not really a beam, but it covers where the MDF boards join. As you can see, they're a bit gappy in places, which is to be expected because trying to get those things to bend and then get them screwed in before the tongue and groove popped out at the other end was a bit tricky, but it looks amazing. And I love how it looks with the beams. The next part on the list is my job today, and that is to basically figure out where I want everything, which, you know, it's such a tiny job, where I want everything, and then ultimately where I want plug sockets. The electrician is coming on Wednesday to get all of the wiring put in. So yeah, I will show you my little doodles. I have a rough sketch doodled of where I want plug sockets. I've got my rough sketch of the bed area as well. And did I do a rough sketch of the kitchen area? I don't think I did. But yeah, it's coming together and I love it. It's so nice in here. It's calm, it's quiet. The sun shining through like that is just, it's beautiful. And I'm so glad I went for the skylight window, even though it was very expensive. It cost more, I think, than the 2 windows and the door put together. So it was pricey, but it's so worth it though, because when you close it, it is so dark. Look how dark it is without that. If that was just roof and no skylight, look how dark it would be. And that's with the windows. The windows, there's no curtains on the windows, the other windows are there. It makes a massive difference. I mean, the sun has gone in. I feel like I should wait until the sun comes back out just to give a fair comparison. Okay, the sun is out in full. That's the sun that comes from that window. That is the difference in comparison to, if I can open it, I don't actually know if I can open it all the way. The difference that makes is mad. That is just... Eventually I do want to have a partition going in there, so like more of these boards, like a little stud wall type thing, going like 2/3 of the way across, so I can have like a little bedroom nook. But I think at the top I may get some sort of perspex or something to go in at the top so that the light can still come through into this section. That's the idea in my head, but whether I can execute that, we will see. But my little bedroom area is going to be beautiful. I think that is all the updates for now. That's how far I've got. I haven't done any work this entire time because things happened quicker than I thought. It was like one thing after another. It was like the insulation's here and then the cladding's here, the floorboards are here. my cousin was like, yeah, I can come up and help with this bit today, and it's just been like done 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 done, which is great. But I'm also like, but I'm excited. I'm excited to have it like walls up and things in place, I suppose is the best way to put it. So then I can do my bit, which is the decorating, the painting, the filling in holes, staining of stuff, cutting little decorative bits down, gluing things down, nailing things in. That part I'm looking forward to the most, which I suppose is the bit of making it mine. It's just the big bits and heavy lifting that I need help with because I have noodle arms. I started building muscle when I did gardening last year, like a noticeable difference, and then I went on Roaccutane, which messed with my joints. I had a really bad side effect where it obviously dried me out completely skin wise, but it also dried my joints. It felt like everything creaked, so going on walks was painful. I had to, again, not walk one as long, and do more like playing in the garden and stuff rather than long walks, but it meant that I wasn't like staying active because it was just painful. It was really painful. I'm now finished with that, so hopefully I can get gardening again and build my muscles back up. But either way, I still would have struggled, I think, because I'm not built for that. I did make a hole in my finger from the screwing into the floor, from like holding the screws as I drilled, and so they went round and they just ripped a hole in my finger. And I didn't realise until afterwards, when I got in the shower in the evening, I was like, why did my finger sting? Because I had blisters like all along there, but that one was the worst. So the plan with the ceiling is to have the ceiling and the walls are going to be painted an off-white. The floor is going to be wooden, and then this is a skylight frame which is also wooden and will stay on show. So I'm going to have something similar colour to that going here to be a fake beam to cover this bit. That's the plan. I may possibly at some point paint like this end or this end wall a colour. That's a plane. Can we see him? Is he up here? Where's he at? Hello, Mr. Plane. No, missed him. I now need to measure up where I'm putting the sink area, which is going to be here, like an L shape going past this window. There's going to be like a little kitchen area, which eventually will turn into a desk area. I also need to work out where my bed area is. This arrow here shows where my mattress comes up to, so I know the bed frame will need to be like past this. There's going to be like 20 centimetres or something here where I'll have a strip of some sort of sideboard type thing. I'm hoping to put some sort of door flap thing on them so I can have storage going down, so I don't have to crawl too far under the bed to get to storage and still have storage space. And then in the corner I may have one that goes all the way up but also goes all the way down, and it'll be more like a wardrobe that I can hang dresses and stuff in. And then the plan is to have some shelving or like cupboard space up here for the rest of my clothes. So this will become a bit of a nook area, and again I've marked here, this is where my mattress will come to roughly. It's give or take a little bit because obviously the cladding needs to go on here as well, but yeah, again there will be, this is how far my bed mattress comes up to. There'll be a bit of space for the frame, and then there'll be another little shelf space. Eventually there'll be a wood burner somewhere over here, so I won't need many plug sockets on that side. And I think at some point I will end up putting some sort of wall fixture light thingies on the walls. So I've got to work all that out today. My brain's a bit overwhelmed by it, so yeah, I think it's because I have to commit to the ideas that I've been thinking of for ages, where I know I want this here, but I've not worked out the exact sizing. And the same with the bed. Other than my mattress, I've not worked out the exact sizing of everything and height of everything. I'm gonna get on with that. We'll see where I get to. Still need to get a step. I've roughly drawn on the floor where like the kitchen countertop thing space will go, and then I've worked out where, like, how high I want a plug socket here, and then I've also been trying to work out the ones down here as well. It's basically made me realise I needed to Google like the classic depth and height of kitchen countertops, which I hadn't thought of doing properly before. Most of my time has been researching kitchen countertops instead of measuring, but I have my kitchen-ish countertop area here. That's done, somewhat. The sun has gone in now. I've had a nap. It was meant to be half an hour, and it's now 7 o'clock. I'm very tired. I had a busy weekend, and I didn't nap all the weekend. Words. I haven't had a nap all weekend, so I'm tired. I wanted to hop on and finish this properly because I didn't really finish it before. I feel like a lot has happened and progressed since I showed you the hut in the first video. I'm honestly surprised at how fast it's going. It's a bit overwhelming, I'm not gonna lie, just the fact that there's something new almost happening every single day. I'm so happy to have some sort of flooring in here so I can come up here whenever, even if it's looking like this still. I'm really hoping the next time I share a video we will have the wall panelling bits on and the insulation in, and some sort of electricity system. That's kind of the goal for next week. It's going to be crazy to have like an area I can come up here. Can you hear the birds? I can't get over how peaceful it is up here. It's so quiet. It was quiet before we even put the insulation in, but it's even more quiet now. I'm going to finish this vlog here. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing the update so far. I'm not quite sure when I'm going to get on a roll with working again more consistently. I do want to obviously have that happen somewhere next month in May, but I'm kind of going with things right now in terms of rolling with what needs to be done with the hut so I can get it done as quick as possible and things can kind of start to settle down again. Because obviously once this is done I'll then have the process of moving myself in and moving my office into my bedroom. So the sooner I get this done, the sooner I can move things around, the sooner I can work. That's the sort of timeline I'm working with, and I'm also working alongside the timeline of my dad and when he's free for things, because a lot of the people other than my cousin and other family members who are helping, the people we're getting in to like do electricity and stuff are the people that my dad knows or is friends with for years. So I'm trying not to cram up my weeks too much with dates and deadlines and stuff on my schedule, because I know that if they say we can do Wednesday, we can do Thursday, I'll just be able to be like, yeah, sure, go with it. I'm gonna go get food now. I hope you're all doing well and having a lovely day, and I will see you in my next video. Probably sat here. Hopefully with some walls on the back.